Hey folks, if you haven't watched one of these videos before, welcome. I very much appreciate it. I am Johnny Phoenix. I am just a person on the internet who likes to play Magic. I am not a former pro. I wasn't on the SCG tour even. I'm not a full-time Magic content creator. I just like playing Magic. And I know that when I watch, the big names, it gets to be intimidating because they win a lot, and sometimes I kind of feel like shit. So I just wanted to come out and be the guy that gets you into the format, goes 2 and 3, doesn't put any pressure on you to feel like, oh, it's so easy to win. That's where we're at. So I'm going to dive into some drafts. We're going to, do as best as we can. If I'm playing well, if I make some good picks, you want to come in and big up me in the comments, I'll take that. When I make mistakes or when you would have done things differently, please come let me know. Come let me know how things could have gone better, what plays you would have made, where I'm biffing things, because I want to be learning here with everyone else. With all that said, thank you again for watching the video, and let's get to the draft. All right, folks. We're back for another Pioneer Masters draft. First draft was really fun. We played Grixis Control. I would encourage you to go check out the video. We kind of crashed and burned at the end, unfortunately. I made some misplays there, but the deck was a lot of fun. We had a Chandra. It was really cool. We'll see what we can find this time. This is just my literal second draft in the format. I did not dig into the format that much beforehand. Oh boy. Okay. Hornet Nest is pretty interesting. It just clogs things up so well. If you have a fight spell, you just use the fight spell in your Hornet Nest to make as many 1/1 Death Touch flyers as your opponent's creature's power. Triplicate Spirits also seems really quite good. Nyx Weaver also seems like a pretty good card if you're doing graveyard stuff, which seems to be the black-green theme here. I like an Essence Scatter, but we played Control last time. I think Gnarlback Rhino is a pretty cool play around. Also goes well with the fight spells. I want to take Hornet Nest and see what shenanigans we can get up to. That seems pretty dangerous. I think Triplicate Spirits is a lot more straightforward pick here. Creatures entering don't cause... Oh, Hushwing Griff. Draconic Roar. Geez, I just don't know the cards well enough. Draconic Roar is another one. Just a straightforward removal spell, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I don't... There's a Mana Dork here in green. Anchor to the Ether seems like a perfectly reasonable removal spell. Put it on top, scry. Zulaport Cutthroat. If you watch the Pauly Chi video, he had a really amazing sacrifice deck. Imperious Oligarch and Zulaport Cutthroat were doing work there. Sky Knight is good. There's another Essence Scatter and a Clutch of Currents. I think this card is easy to underrate. It looks just like a sorcery speed on summon, but when you pay the Awaken, it's like a Big Fin bouncer. It's like a 3/3 that bounces a creature, which seems pretty solid to me. I'm going to take the Mana Dork, cut green, and see what comes from there. This is literally the only green card, and it's a 2-mana Mana Dork, which is just pretty standard. There's not Llanowar Elves in a lot of sets. Okay, and we've got... Oh boy, okay. I think Crawl Harpooner, there's a lot of... blue-white flyers going around. There's a handful of flyers in other colors. So I think Crawl Harpooner is pretty good. If you can play this thing and eat like a Cloudfin Raptor or a little Pegasus, and get the 3/2 for 2 mana and get their cheap play, it's just unreal. Philogy was cool in the deck we had. Dragon Mantle, give it fire breathing, draw a card, give it this 1 red +1/+0. I still just want to cut the green, and I think this card's definitely worth it. There's also a Kalni Ambush down here. We'll see if there's another green player at the table or if this can come all the way around. I definitely take that. It's, again, sick with the Hornet Nest. Okay, here's a fight spell. Basara Tower Archer. Hexproof and Reach. I feel like this is for the heroic, like, aura style decks where you put pants on your creature, put a bunch of auras on your creature, and not really for me. Mogus Warhound. Cheap Bestow. +2/+2. Oh, this is awfully aggro. 2/2 that attacks each combat, and for 3 mana. I could take a Devour Flesh or a Read the Bones. I kind of want to just take another green card and just... When Stampeding Elkherd attacks, if creatures you control have total power 8 or greater, they gain trample. 5 mana, 5/5. I mean, that does seem perfectly reasonable. I think I want to take the first fight spell, though. I feel like Stampeding Elkherd is replaceable. I'd much rather have the Rhinos. Okay, now my knowledge of the format is going to be tested here. 3 mana counterspell, 6 mana with Awaken. Draw 2 cards, target opponent gains control of... Okay. That doesn't seem like where I want to be. There's just Ingenious Scab is whatever. Windrider Patrol. I don't... Maybe I take Gruul Guildgate? Perforos Emissary. The Bestow cost... I do think Bestow is cool as like a value play. You just get 2 cards out of your cards, but this one is so expensive. I don't feel like I'm going to miss any of these cards, really. I don't know... 3 mana counterspell usually isn't that great, and it's definitely not so good in my deck so far. I'm going to take the land. Okay, I feel like I really want to see some of those Rhinos, that I'm getting into the Rhino style deck. If I had taken the 2 mana 2/1 Hexproof guy, this would also be good here. I don't think destroying their creature and giving them a 3/3 is usually very good. There doesn't seem to be very many artifacts at all. There's like Pilgrim's Eye and then whatever higher rarity cards there are. This does not seem like a Philology Archaeologist deck. I think I'm Audacity is good. I'm going to take the Audacity. I'm just going to keep doing the thing and try to get all the green cards I can get. Jesse and Thief is good. Boulder Salvo is serviceable. Nantaku Husk is good in the right deck, but I don't think that's me. Crackdown Construct. Whenever you activate an ability of an artifact or creature that isn't a mana ability, gets +1. I mean, we have Voyaging Satyr. I think Leaf Crown Dryad is one of the reasonable bestow cards. Okay, here I have to make some choice, I think. I guess if I'm going to end up green-red, I have the Guildgate. I can get my flip card here. Keening Apparition is perfectly reasonable. There do seem to be way more enchantments than artifacts. Zendikar Incarnate is just like a 4/4 for 4 or a 5/4 for 4 or a 6/4 for 4. That's just not very impressive. I think I'd rather have the land. I could also take a Dreg Mangler. Oh, that's tricky. I don't know what's better there. I'm going to take the... I'm going to assume I'm going to be able to do the... Oh, geez. So it's possible I should have been on the Dreg Mangler. I don't really know that I'm going to get an instant and a sorcery card in my graveyard. I'm going to take a Rakdos Guildgate here. And just try and set myself up for... Jeez. Well, I think I'm going to take an Eidolon. This card is perfectly fine. I could be like a more defensive, more mid-rangey black-green deck. I have like Harpooner to try and get value. Again, the Hornet Nest. And Eidolon seems fine as just a 1/1 Death Toucher. I'm not sure. I could take a second Akum Warrior. This just doesn't seem... I think I could take a second Akum Warrior or I could take a Devour Flesh. I honestly don't. I don't know there. Whenever a land you control enters, it gets +1/+1. It's just like a cheap card. If I had taken the Devour Flesh, maybe I would want to go for one of the Read the Bones or the Sanitarium Skeleton. I'm not really happy about... Oh, jeez. Okay, we're definitely split a little bit. Let's take the red card and pass a black or pass a blue card. Target player discards a card. Search your library for a card, then shuffle and put that card on top. Put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. This just doesn't... 5 mana +1, they discard a card. Like if I search my library for a card and put it in my hand, put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. You got to plus it 3 times to get there. I'm going to take Liliana and give it a try. We do have the more defensive deck. And it's a planeswalker. So I'm assuming we don't want the slide runner. We might still be on some splash. In that case, I probably would want a district guide. Gearport Gearcrafter is good, but if we're trying to do the slow Liliana thing, that's really not where I want to be at. Blue cards, white cards, another archer. I think I'll take the district guide. I have like Butcher to get more value out of the guide. So many archers. Well, the ambush didn't come back, so there's somebody at the table who is green. I'm just not shaping up to be a very good fight spell deck either. I could take like a Dinrova Horror, and then maybe I ditch all this stuff, and I end up green, black, splash blue. I could get this Guildgate back. I don't think any of these cards are that powerful for what I'm doing. And Dinrova Horror is quite powerful. I think I want to take another cheap play, another Mana Dork. I'm not really going too high up the curve. Dinrova Horror. There's also the Evolving Wilds to try and make sure I can play the Horror. I'm not really on the Guild Summit. If you can get the... I mean, all the gates payoffs are here. We'll try the ramp thing. Now I have a shot at a Rhino, but I have one Savage Punch and an Audacity that's pretty out of place in my deck. I don't have any 4s, though, right now. I think I'm going to take a Rhino. I'm kind of getting into, like, a place where... Oh, here's a Gates Ablaze as well. I'm getting into a place where some of my cards don't exactly work with my other cards. Okay, we're really going to find out if Voyaging Satyr has what it takes. Can't be blocked, gets +1. Okay. 6 mana Bestow, jeez. I think we definitely could have had the hexproof deck. Do I want a second? I mean, I think I want them now if I can... I have one Rhino, and if I can pick up another Rhino or 2, which is pretty ambitious, but maybe. I want one of these. I could get a second Savage Punch, or I could take the first spell land, which I think I'm going to do. There's also a Brood Monitor, a 3/3, and 3 1/1s. I think I'm going to take another interactive spell here. It's still good with the Hornet Nest. Just making a bunch of flying Death Touchers is just... Okay. I really don't. I feel like I want the Harpooner. It's just another, like, then I'm kind of like done with cheap cards, huh? There's also an Eidolon. This is just to cast like dragons and stuff, right? Yeah. I could take a Gurmag Angler, but I don't really think I'm the Gurmag Angler deck. I just don't really have very much that's going to the graveyard that easily. I am going to take one. Having one, I'm not really missing out on anything, I don't think. Yeah, I could have had all the archers if I wanted them. Courier's Briefcase cast. I mean, the Denrova Horror just isn't going to get there, is it? I just don't have the mana. I'm going to... More archers. And another Colony Ambush. That seems fine. Take one more Butcher. Isn't this just like a instant speed? Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to another target creature. This seems like a good card right here. Okay. Brood Monitor if I want it. I'm looking at Conclave Naturalists, I think. Search your library for up to 2 basic forward cards. Reveal those cards. Put one on the battlefield tapped and the rest into your hand. Search for... I mean, this is... a decent ramp spell, but I already have 3 Satyrs. And I am pretty heavy green. Can I splash? I could splash red. I have all these fight spells already. I think the Naturalist is pretty good. I do have a lot of 5s. Create a 0/1 plant. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Gain X life and draw X cards. We're just going to try... We're going to try all the Planeswalkers we can try. I do think Boon Satyr's pretty good. This is another kind of like combat trick. There's also a District Guide. There's a Pilgrim's Eye. Pilgrim's Eye doesn't do much for me here. Well, we're heavy green. We might end up cutting the Eidolon. I don't think I need more of these. I mean, I think I want a Guildgate, and then maybe I could wheel this Fall of the Hammer too. And I mean, I've got the Gnarlback Rhino. Then the Eidolon's quite good. Well, if we're splashing, exile the top card of your library. Just draw 2 cards a turn. That seems like another good way to just get card advantage. We do already have a bunch of... Let's just go for power level. Horror's not going to make it. I don't think Brood Monitor makes it either. We will have cheap plays and we will not lose to flyers. I mean, I do want like a 2-mana play to protect my Nissa when I play it on turn 3. That seems reasonable to me. I need creatures in play for the fight spells. Another cheap green card to keep me hard green. There's another fight spell, but I've got 3 plus. Essentially, I'm going to play this Fall of the Hammer. And maybe another Fall of the Hammer. I have 2 red lands and a District Guide and like a mountain. And picking up, yeah, I mean, this just really solidifies the splash, I think. Yeah. Okay, I don't know if this deck's going to be good, but it seems coherent to me. This Liliana's just... We'll give it a try. We'll try and just juice their hand. Maybe we can ramp it out and juice their hand. Oh, no, don't want to take out Nissa. How many fight spells is too many? They are lands as well, right? There's like a Wild Slash, but I can't really splash. A Wild Slash is better when you can actually play it early. And a little bit less good on the splash. Pilgrimage, I could really ramp it up. I'm going to take the Pilgrimage because I don't think there's anything else I'm really... +1/+1 until end of turn. 4 mana 2/2. Is there a way to repeatedly activate abilities? You have to like work hard just to get this to be a 4 mana 3/3. That seems exceedingly bad to me. Okay, my mana is set. I'm getting value. I can sack my butchers to sack my guides to my butchers and play my planeswalkers. Courier's Briefcase comes out. Probably Audacity comes out. Whenever an art... Yeah, that just doesn't happen. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to play any of these cards. Oh, would I play a Black Bloom Rogue? Yes. I'll put that in my pile, I guess. Another spell land. Can't hurt. 4 damage to target creature with Surge. You may cast a spell for its Surge cost if you or a teammate choose a non-land card name. This is like a... Okay. Oh, I got... Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. A Thopter Engineer that nobody picked, huh? I think this card is good. Just a 1/3 and a 1/1 flyer with haste. Seems good to me. Okay, I'm going to try to go... It is weird because I have double black. I really think that for limited, I'm really not sure about the power of this card. Like, I have to put 5 mana into it to get them to discard a card, and they have to react, but it doesn't affect the board at all when you play it. And yeah, just putting a card on top of your library is powerful, but not card advantage. And then getting to the ultimate, I mean, I have a lot of creatures in my deck, but do I? 18 right now. I do. I honestly think, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I honestly think the correct play is to cut the Liliana and go like essentially mono green. How many? If I cut Liliana, cut Eidolon, cut Gurmag, would I splash the Silumgar Butchers? How many cards do I have? Just red-green. I could add like any of these. This is 6 cards. This is a tricky build, honestly and truly. We're just not a very good Gurmag Angler deck. So then I get like these two as my top end instead. Thopter Engineer does seem pretty weak in my deck. But I could get a Thopter Engineer or get an Audacity instead. could get a Brood Monitor if I want it. Then, like, these Guild Gates come out. $17 lands here, so I could go... plus up to 5 spell lands. So now I get the Thopter Engineer for sure. I get the Audacity. And I can get the Brood Monitor if I want it. And I'm just like missing out on... Boy, this is tricky. I could just be totally wrong about Liliana. I mean, maybe setting your draws a couple times is good enough. I'm just really hesitant about a 5-mana planeswalker that does not affect the board at all when you play it. So we're going to try the red-green. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 6, 7 early red sources to get Thopter Engineer. Thopter Engineer is a pretty weak card in my deck, I feel like. I'm not really doing a lot with it. Brood Monitor is kind of a weird... I guess Thopter Engineer is sick with Nissa. Gain X life and draw X cards to excess the number of lands you control. I mean, I'm just trying to, like, make plants and put +1/+1 counters on everything. Nissa is potentially really sick with Hornet Nest. Okay, let's try this. We had so many useful cards. We had, like, 2 whole different decks almost. So, again, let me know. I mean, 2-drop, fight spell. Card advantage, we're on the play. We're in a little danger if we start drawing lands, but we've got Outpost Siege to play on 4 to get us action. If they just like play a little flyer, that'd be really cool. Man, create a 1/1. This seems like one of the better heroic cards. Can they get it to not trade? Wow, okay, yeah. I just don't know the set well enough. And we drew 2 lands. Okay. Martial Glory. They got me. I'm really on the back foot here. Oh, that was quite good. When a creature you control leaves the battlefield, outpost... Yeah, you're just never doing that, right? I play Nissa, I plus it and make a plant. They attack Nissa if they have any... I don't know. We'll just try and keep playing lands and double spelling. Valakut Awakening. Okay. They're just going to cycle their whole hand. Could be good, could be bad. I mean, yeah, we're definitely on the back foot. Not having any creatures in play. Ouch. Can't really play the Nissa, can I? Colony Ambush is an instant. We're going to get a little greedy. We're still on 18, and we've got Outpost Siege going. If they just have the 2-mana 2/2 guy that kills my Outpost Siege. At least 2 other creatures attack. Creatures you control gain first strike and trample and can't be blocked by creature tokens. Okay, this is what I wanted. Okay, that was not what I was expecting. Yeah, I feel like they played this pretty well. Alright, they get their card. I didn't get to use my mana, which really sucked. Crawl Harpooner is sick. I want to play District Guide. Oof. I just don't have any way to fight without losing the creature I fight with. We could be stable here. We're still on 13. They've drawn a lot of lands. They just have it all every time, huh? We're on 7 and they're mostly out of action. These fight spells.
I must heal this land.
I can put counters. Losing the Nissa is not as big a deal because I would get to eat 2 more creatures.
I see the path I must take.
Do I need to try to get fancy here? Okay. They don't trade. Perfect. Make a plant.
I will cast out corruption.
Wow. Okay. We were on 7 life. I mean, maybe their deck's not got a lot of power. We were really starting to pull ahead, but you figured they could have given it. It's hard to say. I'm never going to fault anyone for scooping. It's up to you to play however, is the most fun for you. I know that. I mean, we played that. If you watched the last video, I played a game where I had a Chandra in play and I thought I was killing it and I lost and it felt bad. So Peter Bailey. Well, we've got creatures to put into play on the play to protect our Nissa. We could ramp stuff up. We could like Play Satyr on 2, play Nissa plus Audacity on 3. Should we want to do that? I don't know why we might want to do that, but we might. Depends what they play. If they're blue-white or whatever, you know. If I see blue or white, I might want to put the Leaf Crown Dryad in play. I could not play the Nissa on 3. I could just, you know, play these cards or whatever I draw. I feel like Dryad, they're not going to be worried about killing so much. But if I play Satyr, I could potentially play, like, get my Guildgate into play and then play Nissa. But if they just use a removal spell on Satyr here too, then I get to put my Nissa into play. Grixis. Yowzers. We kind of need the Nissa to do its thing. And the Nissa would have been so sick at protecting creature of their choice.
This world is not yours to destroy. What will happen now?
Yep, I mean... They didn't, they're not dumb, I guess, is what I'm saying, when they design the sets. You know, there's multiple removal spells for planeswalkers to go with the multiple planeswalkers in the set. We're in trouble. I think I'm going to play the Ambush as a land to try and get to the Brood Monitor. I've still got the Savage Punch. All this stuff is clunky. I can't trigger Ferocious. Brood Monitor not the best with fight spells. Early game. I mean, we're getting in for damage. We get to draw a card. Scry to the bottom. Okay. Harpooner. Tap land. Okay. And I get to slam the Brood Monitor while they're tapped out. I mean, hopefully they don't have a Chandra. That would be quite bad. I mean, we... Gatebreaker Ram. How big is it? 5/5. Gets +X/+O until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. 2. So it'd be... Yeah, so I can play Harpooner and Savage Punch. Get in for 5. Does this choose up to 1 target creature? I mean, I'm 2 for 1ing myself here, but I get the damage, so what are you going to do? I gotta try and get this game over. I'm gonna keep my action spell. If they play a big creature, I still can't get in for lethal around it, which stinks. And like, if I draw another fight spell, yeah, my deck just doesn't use the fight spells very well. I don't have enough beef. I have like 1 Rhino. Dreadbore. Okay. So they kill Dryad, sure. Ouch. I mean, they had to pick up the Dreadbore to use it there, so maybe they have no more removal, but even creatures just jam things up and get in the way, and we're kind of in trouble. I have like a bunch of Voyaging Satyrs left in my deck and still a bunch of lands. I could land like an Outpost Siege, and that's just such a weird... Oh no, Outpost Siege, sack the Scions and I win, right? Does Outpost Siege say non-token? The Dragon's half would actually be good. I just have to be worried about life gain. Oh, the life gain. Okay. Yeah, we're in frickin' trouble now. I mean, I'm just gonna play my card. I attack. They can just do whatever they want, however they want. Double block, however. Just trade for this. I guess clearing a blocker maybe helps my Scions get through. If they block here, they do take one, so they stay at 2. Okay, they didn't, yeah. They're just going to let me choose what I want to kill, huh? Guess it makes sense to play around stuff. What do I want to kill? I don't think sending with this. Yeah, sending with this. It's so hard to say. Sending with the Scions just gets the Scions eaten. And then I make that same trade anyway. And again, like... Yeah, now they're on 3. And now Outpost Siege doesn't get me out of it. Although Outpost Siege still would be good for just the card advantage. Okay, here's the test. Is this card good? I discard a forest.
No one owns me.
Frickin' mountain. I mean, I guess not blocking puts them dead to a pump spell. I don't know. Yep. That one? That sucks. See, like, this is what would happen. Like, the Liliana did nothing, you know? They played it for 5 mana, and it didn't do anything. It didn't affect the game. it's like eventually a clock, but if it had just been like a removal spell, I don't know. They could have minused it last turn. That might have been better. Who knows? Opponent went pretty deep. They didn't have like, they had a Gatebreaker Ram. They had a little bit of everything on the gate payoffs. Yeah. It is cool that that deck, you know, exists in the format. It's a fun place to be. They could have like minused before playing the evolution, you know?
I remember what it was like to be a god.
Another cool like sort of gate payoff. Yeah. The Liliana ultimates here, and one and one. Maybe, I don't know, you know? Maybe just the pressure of having the Planeswalker in play and making the game about something besides life totals is enough. And it is possible that you're gonna get some cards out of their hand. That's possible too. Yeah, my deck really wasn't I don't think we need to do that. I don't know. We don't have a really good way to use all these. Man, this sucks. Okay, well, we'll eat the Essence Scatter. Did that instead. Okay. Detain. Could you tell me what that means, please? Can't attack or block, and their activated abilities can't be activated. Okay, thank you. We're going to try to keep things clear for the Nissa. I guess the Audacity makes some of our creatures into... Fall of the Hammer is just so much better. Come on, opponent. Sky Knight is good. Again, we can just... Playing the Harpooner is pretty inefficient. I can play the District Guide. It is dangerous. That's my only gate, right? Yeah. I don't really think... I could play the Audacity on the guide, but it doesn't get in. I'm just going to hold it and see what I can do with it later. Leaving that 1 mana should be fine. Guildgate. Okay. I get in for 3, sure. It'd be really nice if they just put forward their play so I knew what it was. Okay. It's an Ardenvale Tactician. Yeah, there's just nothing I can do with Harpooner where it doesn't trade. I could have just played the Akum Warrior and taken a huge hit. And then gotten to fight later. Yeah. I just go down so many cards. And they're just going to have endless more flyers, aren't they? And my Nissa's just... Yeah, that was just... You know, clearing the board for the Nissa just isn't going to work. They have a rest. That does stop the Audacity from getting me a card back. No, they have Knightly Valor. +2/+2 and has Vigilance. I've used all my fight spells. Embarrassing. If they just... I can make a plant. And then they just... That's so dangerous. Maybe I can just use it as like a... You know, a finisher here where I surprise them with... Everything I've got has trample. As like the miniest mini overrun. Just like play it, put a counter on everything, get in. I mean, I'm never going to not be able to do this. Or like not... I might as well do this, yeah? Like... The thing has Vigilance, unfortunately. We're looking okay. They got a lot of cards and a fair bit of mana. What, like, they weren't playing lands. Nissa is not that powerful. I mean, you definitely can build it up, but 4 cards, 5 lands, double red cards? Other cards? I don't know. They were just, again, if you're done having fun, then I guess, you know, you're done having fun. I can't say anything to you. I don't know. I'm low confidence that I correctly played that game. We just can't leverage these fight spells very well. We really need Rhino in play. Like the Akum Minotaur guy just costs too much mana. More tiny creatures and fight spells. That is our deck. Unlikely to see a flyer. Courier's Briefcase. 2 forests. Make a 1/1. We'll hold out on the Harpooner. Okay, we should have played the Harpooner. They do have 1 mana up. I don't think like playing the Satyr sets me up for anything great next turn or anything like that. I could have 5 mana. Yeah, we just suck. We suck at doing anything. They just make it even bigger. Just bestow some more stuff on it. We should have just attacked. We were just going to be scared. Yeah, I'm dead. I don't normally do this, but I'm so dead. Completely pummeled. Yeah, I am firmly in the camp now that my deck sucks, honestly and truly. Like, we just cannot leverage these fight spells at all. I just feel like I've been drawing so many of them. I don't know. I couldn't even like find one with a hornet nest or something. But yeah, I have like 1 Rhino, 1 Conclave Naturalist, and the Warriors. Do I have anything else? I do not. I could just splash the black, but that gets me, you know, a 5 mana 3/3. That doesn't really help. Gurmag Angler that I'm not going to be able to cast. Pretty tough stuff. What are you going to do? Killian, right? We're going to play Warrior as a land. Yeah. Just get our red mana. Black, white. Okay. Are they going to use like an ultimate price or something? No, okay. I mean, that's like a pretty powerful removal spell to play on my 2-drop. Alright. Get your value. Yeah, being on the receiving end of Heliod's Pilgrim, it must be a good card because it feels terrible. That they just like put a thing into play. Yep, get their removal spell. I can't even get my gate with my district guide. I definitely had the mana. I had the fixing to splash. I just don't feel like I had the cards. I didn't have the... If I had black removal spells, if I had a couple Dreadbores... Okay, they didn't play Rest. I mean, obviously. No, they're playing around. Okay, they're just... Gotcha, gotcha. Another Harpooner. If they... I don't know. If somehow... They could have Ruinous Path. They could have the white enchantment-based removal that I think also gets Planeswalkers. We just don't really have... We don't really have good plays, you know? Fall of the Hammer. I'm gonna... I guess Nissa is good. I don't think there's any funny business you can do there with Nissa, right? Everything's sorcery speed. Okay, we got our 3 wins. We're in gravy mode. We got at least one shot at getting our whole draft back. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, the deck, as we played, we realized the error in our ways. Is this is like one of the 5-sided cards or whatever? Okay, just play a Cloudfin that I can just eat with my Harpooner. Nobody's done that for me yet. Well, not going to happen here either. They have a Wild Slash. It would appear. Okay, I play a card. They Wild Slash it. And attack me. And then maybe they don't put an aura on this hero. Is it martial law or whatever again? Artful maneuver. It has rebound. Sheesh. Yeah. Wild Slash my Satyr. And like I can never catch up to this with any of my fight spells, you know? No flying, no anything else, but second hero, a lot less good. Oh, good. Okay. Well, we got crushed. We got crushed again. What are you going to do? I block, take a bunch. If I'm even given the chance, which I doubt. Aggro does look good. Okay. Are any of these enchantments? That doesn't matter anyway. Play 2 creatures, die. If we had not blocked, I guess that was it, right? Like trying to get the card out of their hand with the Crawl Harpooner was wrong. We should have just not blocked. Then we would have like taken 5 and they would have had a 3/3 and we We could have 2-for-1'd ourselves, but it would have, yeah. I think in the end that gives us a chance to win as opposed to getting completely dominated. When does rebound happen? At the beginning of your next upkeep. So yeah, we fight, we lose our thing, they lose theirs. The rebound has no target. They play another hero. We went 3-3. We learned. We got to think through some things, drafting and gameplay wise. Another fun one though. Liliana sat on the sidelines. I don't know if that was right or not. It beat us, so. Nissa was pretty cool. Was pretty fun. Didn't like, again, just the pressure of having the planeswalker. We didn't even like win the game with Nissa. It was just the pressure of it being there. People just wanted to scoop to it. I don't know. If you watched the video, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Push the buttons. If you'd like to push the buttons, I really would appreciate that. It helps me out a bunch. Be excellent to each other. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.